Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and I'm doing a no buy year. I recently went through all of my full-size Natasha Denona palettes and put together this custom of all taupey, grungy, metallic, bronzy goodness. So I put this together using the larger size Natasha Denona palettes, and I wanted to put together something similar using the midi palettes, so that's what I'm planning on doing today. I thankfully have the Metropolis palette, so I'm thinking that it's probably going to go in here because this will hold 28 shadows, just like the large one. And I have a feeling that I'm going to pick out that many, if not more. So when I did the larger one, my goal was bronzies, taupeys, grungy, and I want to keep it similar with the midis, but I'm going to expand it to just like shades that I think are really cool and that I want to use. For instance, there's a couple in the Pastel palette which don't fit the taupey grungy vibes, but like the shade Duet, it's a duochrome and I just really like the shine of it, so I'm expanding out the criteria a little bit for the midis. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started and pulling all of the shades that call to me. Alright, so this is what I've got. I have more than 28, so I need to narrow it down. I don't know. Okay, so I have quite a few purpley leaning things, so I'm thinking that like some of these can be condensed. Okay, and just right here is 27, so I'm going to also group these ones that look kind of similar. Alright, so I have 35. I need to get rid of 7. Okay, let's start narrowing down. Alright, so of these 4, the middle 2 and the bottom 2 are quite similar. This one I think is leaning a bit more silver. Like it's a pretty silvery taupe, so I think that one's gonna get kicked to the curb. So then between these two, I'm thinking the darker one. Alright, so we got rid of 2. Let's move to these reds. These 2 are both kind of toppery. Ooh, but they are quite different in tone. Let's see. Okay, these 3 are quite similar. Okay, the first and the third are more alike. But I think I like the third. And okay, I'll just get rid of both of the other 2. And let's see. Okay, those 3 are all quite different, but I'm thinking maybe straight red isn't the vibe, so I'll get rid of that. Alright, of these purples, yeah, that's Duet. I know for sure I want to keep that one. This one is kind of just giving topper vibes, but so is Limoncello, and I think for this one I'm maybe going to want to have that, so I might end up keeping both of those. Ooh, that one also though. Okay, maybe the yellow of Limoncello isn't it. But it could go with some of these more like orangey bronzes. So maybe keeping Limoncello around. Okay, those Aster and Duet are quite similar. So I had picked this shade from the bronze palette, and that one's also kind of giving that same vibe, but it's more purple, and I think maybe I don't want that. I want to go with more of the shade from the bronze palette, so I'll get rid of that. And then this one is maybe too pink for everything else that I have going on, so keeping those 4, and then these more reddy ones, I think that balances it out a bit. That is then 7 that I've kicked out. Yay me, I get to keep all 6 of these great bronzies. I'm going to do some rearranging, then I'll pop it into the palette and swatch them all. Alright, so here's my custom Natasha Denona midi palette put into the Metropolis. I'm pretty excited to start using it. The green is maybe a little bit like one of these things is not like the other, but I think that's okay. I just want to compare it to the larger one that I made. How can I do this? So this one definitely has more of like a light brightness to it, whereas this one remained quite dark. But I think like this bottom corner kind of vibes right with this. So I think they're kind of a perfect pairing. I'm really excited to use these. Thanks for watching. If you liked this, hit the like button. It would help me out. Do you like making your own custom eyeshadow palettes? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what sort of creations you guys are making out there. I love watching other people put together custom eyeshadow palettes, especially if they're taking like a certain brand and rearranging the shadows of a bunch of different palettes and, you know, re-putting it into a palette. I think those are super interesting and exciting to watch. That's all I've got. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.